What's up, YouTube? So it's me. I'm back again. Don't have a load this time for you guys, but we got a special guest in the building. This is Steven. Say what's up, Steven.
What's going on, y'all?
And we're going to talk to him today. He's a fellow driver on Prime flatbed side, so we're going to shoot some questions at him, see if he can answer them. Try to get him some hard stuff. Oh yeah, say what's up, Jose.
What's going on, people?
Don't mind him. Just close the curtain. We ain't talking to him today. But yeah, let's think of some stuff. Man, what should I ask him? So, how long have you been with Prime? When did you start?
I started officially got my license October 3rd of 2014. October 3rd, 2014. Yep. And then I officially went solo February 28th, 2015. I stayed with my trainer for longer than I needed. When I started off reefer, I stayed with him throughout the whole winter, and then we just kind of ran team. And
so you started off reefer, but now you're flatbed.
now I'm flatbed. I've been flatbed now for a year and a half.
What made you change?
I was getting bored. Reefer's boring. It's just I was getting tired of swinging the door. You know, it's I kind of like the fact of I like the looks you get, people looking at your load and kind of seeing how interesting it is, and I always thought flatbed was pretty interesting. You know, it's because it's never the same thing. I mean, you haul the same for the most part. You know, and we kind of haul the same concept, same shingles, kind of like that. But the load's always different. You don't know what kind of tray you're going to have. You don't know what's going to weigh. You know, the scenery's a lot different versus when I was reefer. It was just going from dock to dock and warehouse to warehouse, and it was just you never really saw anything. You didn't have time to enjoy the career. You just that truck pretty much owned you. Versus over here, I can take time and I meet up with you, have lunch, chill out. We don't have to worry about not making our appointment time, and we just chill and make the same kind of money. So I switched, and I was getting tired of not being physically active too. So I wanted to get me more physical and go back to the way I was before I was a trucker. I was a farmer before, so I was used to being physically active and working, and went from that to just sitting on my behind and basically just looking at the steering wheel and watching them.
Yeah, it gets pretty boring pretty fast
watching
on
that
reefer
red
side.
light, watching that red light and that green light.
Unless you got something special you're doing inside the truck.
Yeah,
there's nothing else to do sitting at those docks and play video games.
The only
watch
fun
movies.
load I think I remember. I mean, reefer was cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoy driving the truck at anything I do, but the most fun load I think I ever did, which I was still running team with my trainer. We picked up flyers out of Florida and took them to Wisconsin, and you got to unload those flyers by yourself. That was pretty interesting. It was fun to get out of the truck and actually do something different for a change. And that was when I was like, I really want to do this flatbed thing. I wanted to go flatbed originally, and I didn't, which it worked out. I had a great trainer. And my buddy went flatbed, and he was telling me all these loads he was doing and the places he was going, and he was sending me pictures of his loads. I'm like, man, that looks cool, haul something like that and do things like that. And we don't get to do that over here. And eventually I just switched and went over, and I ain't looked back since. And if I can't haul flatbed now, I don't think I'll ever do anything else. If I can't haul it, then I don't think I'll probably just quit driving the truck. I couldn't go back to swinging the door again. I mean, I absolutely couldn't do it.
So you went solo reefer? You got your truck solo on the reefer side?
Went solo reefer for 7 months, and
then when you decided to switch over to flatbed, you took your truck?
Yeah, I took my truck with me. It was pretty easy. They were really cool about it. My truck was only about 8 months old at the time. I got my truck brand new. It was almost 8 months old. By the time it was all said and done, and I got in there, my truck was 8 months old, and they were really cool about it. And they let me keep it and just put the headache rack on it. And I was in and out. It took me about a week from start to finish to switch. With the boot camp class, they put you in a securement class, and went from that. They put the headache rack on, moved the fifth wheel back, and I was gone. And been nothing but up, looking up from there. But
so you reefer guys is watching. If you want to switch over to flatbed side and you're already at Prime, you can take your truck and take it to the flatbed side and keep the same truck you're in. You don't have to worry about switching trucks. Now, he's a lease, so I don't know if it works that way for company. I imagine it probably does, but it may not.
No, company make you switch trucks.
Okay. Well, they're saying they make you switch trucks on company side, so
The only
you guys have to check on that.
If you're a lease and you want to switch and you want to take your truck, if your lease on your truck is more than, I think they told me more than a year, over a year and a half, one of the two, you can't take it, because then you're basically halfway through the lease at that point. So you might as well just you're going to turn it in and get a new truck, or just stick it out, finish the lease out, then go. But if it's under a year, you can take it. And they're pretty cool about it. I think a year's the cutoff, but they were pretty cool about it with me. I just went up to Success Leasing, I asked if I could keep it, and they said, yeah, it was cool. I didn't. Flatbed's a 4-year lease versus Reefer's 3. The only downfall is, well, it's not really a downfall, but I had to keep the 3-year lease. So I basically, the Flatbed leases their payments are cheaper than Reefer, but because my truck was not a year old, it was still basically almost a brand new lease. I still had to stay at a 3-year lease, but my lease will be done and I'll be able to get a new truck sooner than a typical flatbed guy would do. But that's the only, I guess you could say, the negative thing about the whole switching thing. But besides that, it was pretty simple. They're really cool about it. And the only issue I ever had about switching the whole thing was on a flatbed truck, when they order them in, they put the fifth wheel back, the whole frame about 8 inches farther than a reefer truck. And I knew that was going to be a problem from the beginning, and I brought that to their attention, and they didn't think it was really that big of a deal. And so I went 3 months being overweight on my steers every day, every load, and I had to keep track of my scale tickets and I cat scales, and I took them in to road assist, and I basically said, look, I'm overweight on my steers, like extremely overweight on my steers. And after showing them that I wasn't lying, and I wasn't BSing them, they decided to let me just move it. It came out of my pocket, but they moved it, but I was more than willing to pay it because I didn't want to pay a ticket, an overweight ticket. I didn't want it on my license, so I paid that, and they moved it. I unbolted it, Freightliner unbolted it, moved it back 8 inches, drilled new holes, put new bolts, and I ain't had a problem since. But that's probably the really hiccup that I ever hit, when it came to switching with my truck, was just the fifth wheel. Besides that, it was pretty easy, straightforward. But best, any reefer guys out there, man, it's the best decision you ever make. If you really want to do something and you want to see different sceneries and you want to just, it's a challenge. Every load's a challenge. Even though if you haul that same load if you haul that same load 2 or 3 times, it's always different. When you go, you've got a different set of challenges. Are you going to an area where it's a windy area, so you got to watch how the load's going to ride. You got to watch your straps, your tarps. I mean, it's a challenge. It just keeps your mind going, Versus reefer, they still on the box. You put a couple load locks up to close the door. You don't have to worry about the rest of the way trip. You just drive, get there, bump a dock, sit on your behind, and just watch them unload it. And so if you want to do something that kind of keeps you going and keeps you entertained, flatbed's where it's at. And if you're anything like me, I love communicating with people. I love talking to people. And Jose can vouch for this too. When you go to a place, and you go to a dock or a receiver, the only time you'll talk to another driver is when you're in line getting your bills or you're checking in. Other than that, everybody goes back, gets in their truck, either goes back in the sleeper, plays on their phone, but don't interact with people, don't talk to each other.
Unless it's those drivers that standing out there wanting to talk to everybody.
Yeah, one of those drivers like me who wants to talk to everybody. But flatbed over here, if you're stuck at a job site and you're waiting for it, usually all the drivers will come together, just BS with each other and talk and chit chat, help each other out if they need it. And reefer is just like all man for themselves. They don't help each other. You have a problem, that's your problem, not theirs. And I wasn't my kind of style. I can communicate with people and I like talking. And it just wasn't my thing. But
all right, so we established your lease. Did you already know you was going lease instead of company?
Oh yeah.
So that was already a decision you made when you come out?
Well, not 100%. When I first came to Prime, I was thinking about going company. But if it wasn't for my trainer, shout out to Rico. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't went lease, and he was owner operator on 3 trucks.
So you went straight lease?
I went straight lease.
Never been company?
Never been company. Never will be company.
And you're solo, right?
I'm solo.
I know you told me you had your wife riding with you and everything.
My wife rides with me. Shout out to Tammy Paula. But she rides with me, but we run solo. And
so we got a solo guy that's a flatbed operator. For all you guys that's been asking about what the pay is like and everything, I'm a team guy, so I don't really know what solo is like all the time. But another thing, we both have the same dispatcher.
Yeah. We
both get treated totally different. So for all you guys that's always worried about how much money you're gonna make and this and that out here. It's really different from man to man. What he makes, I might not make. What I make, he might not make. So your experience is not gonna be the same as our experience.
No.
You might come out here and you might totally fail, do bad. Or you might come out here and you might hit it off and make a ton of money and just be balling out of control. So it's not for us to say how good you're gonna do, because I don't know how good you're gonna do when you come out here. I mean, yes, you can make money solo, you can make money teaming, but I don't know exactly what you're gonna do when you come out here or you can get your own truck.
It really depends on your work ethic, really.
Yeah.
You know, and your and their ability to trust into you that you're not going to be late, you're going to be on time every time. You know, but the big thing between me and Randy is I don't go home versus he goes home. Since me and my wife are on the truck together, last year we stayed out for 11 months and didn't go home, so we stayed out the whole year and just went home for Christmas. We're probably going to be going home a little bit more often now because I just had a grandson, but other than that, we usually don't go home. So we're just always go. So we're always that one truck that's always going to be available no matter what, because we just don't go home. And that, you know, that makes a big difference. You know, I mean, it's just, David, you know, our dispatcher name is David, and, you know, he's told me straight up, you know, hey man, I need you to cover this load because this driver's trying to go home. And so I've made extra money just moving a short little hop and a skip because this driver, you know, was going to go out of route to take this load, but he needed to be home. But because I was available and I'm not going home, I got that, you know, that extra revenue at the end of the week. So that makes, you know, your home time makes a big difference. Your work ethic, your communication with your dispatcher, your relationship with your dispatcher. I mean, if you're the kind of dude that if you don't get your way, you throw your dispatcher on the bus, you're gonna call him up and you're gonna tell him how it is, and he's gonna like it and he's gonna take it, and that's how it's gonna be. Your experience is probably gonna be a lot different than mine or Randy's, because I mean, I've never had to I wouldn't say put David in his place, but, you know, we've had conversations, man-to-man conversations, and I kind of tell him what I expected. And he told me what he expected of me and what I expected of him. And we've never had an issue, you know, and we're pretty cool with each other. But, you know, I just laid it on the line, just telling him, look, you know, from this point on, I trust you 100% on your word. If you say that there's no freight in the area, I trust that I had to take this crappy load to get to a better reload. I trust you on that. But the first time you give me a reason not to trust you is the day I'll be switching fleet managers. Because if I feel like I can't trust you, then how do I know if I'm losing money because you're not running me the way I think you should be running me, or you say you're running me good, but you know you might be BSing me. But it's basically just at the end of the day, your fleet manager can make or break you. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, they can change it each way they want to. Sales has a big part in that also, but if you got a bad relationship with them, you know, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt sooner or later, you know, because I mean,
right.
I don't know about anybody else out there, but I know I don't want to work with somebody who's treating me like garbage. You know, who every time he gets mad about something, he calls me up and cusses me out and hoot and hollers and everything else. I don't want to deal with that. You know, why should I look out for him when he throws me underneath the bus? You know, that's the way I look at it. You know, I'm from the South. I was raised a very particular way, and I try to respect people the way I want to be respected and treat people the way I want to be treated. You know, and I know his job is stressful as it is now. He's got a lot of trucks to watch over. You know, if I don't get a load right this second, I don't hit him up. Well, where's my damn load? I want a load. I want to go. I mean, I know that, you know, there's a lot of other drivers in different areas and different time zones that got unloaded. Even though I got unloaded at the ass crack of dawn where I'm at, there are still drivers who got unloaded to me because they're in a different time zone. So it's like I try to be understanding. I try to say, okay, you know, it is what it is. And I have to say it, you know, reefer helped me do that because, you know, and any reefer guys out there, they know. And I know Jose knows there's times that there was times you'd sit for hours without a load, you know, and just because there's so many reefer guys around. And after a while, you just that becomes the norm that you sit for hours for a load. So when I came over here and the first time I sat for more than 2 hours, I was, you know, oh, well, you know, it is what it is. This is how it is. You know, and I hear people going, man, I sat for an hour for a load. And I was happy to be sitting only for an hour to get a load.
Right.
You know, reefer, man, I've done 10-hour breaks before I got a load. You know, and I damn near a full clock to get anywhere. And I had to end up sitting for a 10-hour break before I got a load. So, I mean, it's just, you know, I took my experience with reefer and I've applied it to flatbed and circumstances, and I've become more understanding. I think David appreciates that because I don't nag on him. And so I just kind of chill out and relax and you know, me and my wife take that time to just kind of, you know, if we see something in a store we like or whatever, we'll go check it out and just kind of get off the truck for a little bit, chill out.
So speaking of that extra time, you say you like that about the flatbed a lot. It has a lot of extra time on loads.
Oh yeah, you know, it's
over the weekend.
Like I said before, you know, a reefer, basically that truck ran you, and you didn't run that truck. I mean, it was, you know, during, like right now it's the winter time, and he dealt with it day before yesterday, and I dealt with it yesterday. The weather was ridiculous. I mean, it was, if your driving wasn't on point, you were screwed. I mean, it was sketchy. I mean, it was pretty damn sketchy. Even this morning, the wind that we dealt with this morning
it was
was
really
sketchy.
windy.
And maybe it might not have been the best idea for us to be out on the road because he's light and I'm heavy. But, you know, it was one of those things, either we're not making no money moving. We got to keep moving. And so we'll just take it slow. And we just kind of watch for signs of, okay, it's a little bit too windy now. We push through it. But but reefer, it didn't matter if it was dumping snow and you couldn't see. They say you're the captain of that ship. But then, you know, in my mind, you know, I'm ready for the next load. I need to get this off the truck as fast as possible, get the next load on the truck to keep making money. If I have to sit on that load for one extra day because of the weather, you know, I'm losing money now. And Prime is understanding about the weather, but at the same time, I want to make money.
Right.
So I would push through bad weather. Maybe I shouldn't have been driving in. I would, you know, and I was pushing through the night when I should be sleeping because I'm having trouble staying awake. I'm drinking Red Bull after Red Bull trying to stay awake, but I have to make my delivery time. Versus over here, hey, if I'm not feeling well or the weather's really bad, I usually have an open window all my appointments. So it's like,
appointment times are
appointment
pretty
times,
big
you basically
range.
got all day to deliver. So if you don't feel comfortable or that you got, you know, you're not feeling well or whatever the case may be, you can pull over and you need a nap or whatever. You can take a nap and you're not having to worry about being late. You know, and that was a big thing for me. I really enjoyed that. My wife really enjoys that. You know, it's just, we want to come out here and make money, but we also want to enjoy our career. But we were enjoying the career financially as a reefer driver, but, you know, you'd see all these cool things, but you couldn't stop looking because you didn't have time. But over here, you can. You can go check out cool places and things that, you know, places I've never been in my life. I mean, I grew up poor. I didn't own any, you know, I didn't have very much when I was a kid. I started getting a little bit more when I got older, just the job I did, but even then, it's not the money. It's nowhere near the money I have now, you know. And I want to go enjoy things, but I couldn't do it as a reefer driver. But versus over here, I can, and still make money. So it's you get to make money hard, but you get to play hard too, you know. And that's a big thing for me. That's where I really like it. I mean, flatbed, I think in my opinion, is the best division to ever be in. I mean, I couldn't do anything else but flatbed. I mean, I just love the atmosphere about it, the lifestyle. It's just cool, man. It's just cool. It's about all you can describe it. There's no other words to describe it.
Yeah, it's cool. And some of the stuff we haul and get to do it's real cool.
Yeah,
It's cold.
it's cold.
Says the guy who always wears sweats.
But this fool,
Hold on. He gonna pull out something.
He's
gonna pull out his Christmas present.
So, baby?
As you guys see, he bugged me to buy him something for Christmas, so I had to go ahead and get him something.
But as you can see, he still got the tags on because even though it's cold, he didn't put it on. He complained about it being cold, but he didn't put it on.
I know. He wanted something for Christmas, so I take care of my students. I bought him the bottom set. He said he had the coat already, so.
Well, he said
trying
he
to
takes
keep him
care of his
warm.
students. Don't listen to him. He says he takes care of his students, but I've already heard about how boring he is. He wants to go do this, but he can't because Ray just doesn't want to
Interview
do it.
is over. Don't listen to him. Nah. Next year, we're going to go someplace and do some stuff, so. This guy has fun, though. He stops and does it up all kind of places.
I try.
A lot more than me and a lot more than a lot of drivers out here, so. You can have some fun on the road. You don't take it from me, you can take it from him. He will tell you.
I've got some stories.
Yeah, he got a lot of stories.
You know, it's I've been to, like I was telling him earlier, I've been to Universal in Cali, and I was on the load, so I was getting paid while I was there. I went to Universals in Florida for Thanksgiving while I was on the load. I was getting paid when I was there. And I did that Easter. I went to Universals in California. I was on the load, got paid when I was there. There's a town in Branson, Missouri. It's like a mini Vegas where I told him. I mean, there's a lot of shows and go-karts. I'm a big go-kart dude. And we go there every time we're at the yard. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to do there. Museums, all kinds of stuff. We've been to Vegas. When we went wild in Vegas. I can't even say we didn't. We went wild in Vegas, and we had a lot of fun there. You know, and it's just that's cool to us. You know, we don't. You know, we're not big into partying and going to clubs. And I know some drivers who, you know, they're down on the radio. They'll go down across the border and go to the bars, and that's just not our scene. We're not that kind of people. But we're like, you know, we like history and things like that. And so, you know, we've been on pretty cool train rides and just museums we've seen and things like that. But we try to, you know, we feel like, you know, we want to buy us a home. We want to buy us a home one of these days. And but for the time being, we told ourselves, you know, we're going to enjoy this career and live life to the fullest. And when we're ready to settle down, then we'll buy us a home. I've got money set aside for a down payment on a home, and we don't touch it. But we're just like, whenever that time comes, we're ready to settle down, and we'll get us a home. But until then, it's just play hard, you know, and have fun doing it. So that's what we do. Try to, anyways. Not all the time. We still do with some, you know, BS on here on the flatbed side, you know, that we deal with the reefer side, but I think it's within.
Yeah, it's just trucking.
That's just trucking. You know, it is what it is, but it. We have a lot of fun with it, though. We really do have a lot.
Yeah,
of fun.
main thing, you gotta have fun while you're out here. Otherwise, it get pretty boring being on the road, especially for you new guys not used to being away from home. Find stuff to entertain yourself. Make the time go by, especially on the flatbed side. As you can see, we got a lot of time on loads. He was on loads on all those places he went. Because our big windows that we have to deliver loads and stuff, or anything, especially over the weekend. Like right now, I picked this load up Friday, and I don't have to deliver it to Monday. Though it was only going 2,000 miles, so 2,000 miles you can do in a day and a half, no problem. So I'm just taking my time. The weather shut me down a little bit, so that gave me a little extra time to actually still make it. I got to like 4:30 Monday afternoon to be there, but I'll probably be there hopefully Monday morning if I don't run into any more bad weather. But just so much time.
You know, he's got a single stop. I got a multi-stop. I think total miles. Mine's like 2,600 miles, but I had to deliver on Monday in Salt Lake City, and from where I picked the load up to Salt Lake was only 1,300 miles. So I know some people, oh man, 1,300 miles, that's a long time. Not really.
No.
I mean, I can knock. I mean,
That's 2 days.
That's just 2 days worth of work, you know. And like in this instance right now, my wife right now is at home with my grandson. But if my wife was on the truck with me right now, like we've found a couple places in Salt Lake we'd like to go hang out at. And you know, so we'll run hard those 2 days and get there in Salt Lake and do a 34 while waiting to get unloaded on Monday morning, and just go get off the truck, you know, and chill out, you know, and you know, some people don't realize, you know, understand why we stay on the truck for that long. You know, how can you not go crazy on the truck, that confined space for a year? Well, you know, when we had open window, we had luxury time, we just go stay the night in a motel, get off the truck for the night, stay in a motel, and
there
just chill out, you know, and just that one night of being off the truck in a motel completely just basically just washes you of all that stress, and you just start all over again.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
And whenever you're wanting another break, just get you a motel for the night.
Especially on the weekend, because a lot of loads we have on the weekend, you'll be done or where you need to be by Saturday, so you have all day Sunday to relax.
Yeah.
Saturday evening to relax. I mean, Uber is everywhere now, so you can always get off the truck and get an Uber and go into town or anywhere you want. Just get off the truck and go do something.
Yeah.
Like I said in a previous video and stuff, just get off your truck and go explore or do something. It'll make it so much easier on you.
Oh yeah, it's just, you gotta have that stress reliever sometimes, you know. You just gotta get off the truck. I mean, you know, I've seen a lot of guys out here, and I've been, if you count the teaming I did plus the solo time, I've been driving about 3 years. And in 3 years, I've met quite a few people who, they were all, you know, just excited to be out here. And the first time they really had, you know, when shit hit the fan, so to speak, and stress got pretty bad, they just up and quit. They couldn't take it no more. They want to be home. And you know, think about that before you really come out here. Do you want to be working with your family? Because you had to make decent money as an OTR driver. You have to stay out for at least 2 months, at least, in my opinion.
Yeah, it takes a toll on you.
I push for 3, but some people say 2. But you know, think about it before you come out here. But then, you know, when you're starting to get stressed out, don't just throw your hands up and leave. Because I'm telling you, that when you get into this career and you get your experience in, this is by far, in my opinion, the best career you could ever do. I mean, it's really not that hard. I mean, it's easy money. I mean, it's all mental stuff. But other than that, it's easy money. I mean, you make fast, easy money. I mean, anybody can drive. You just hold the steering wheel, basically. I mean, you have to learn how to shift and everything else, but you know, you basically hold the steering. Well, not on this one. Yeah, they're all lazy, so they're not real. They're
automatics.
not real men.
I've been through it, so
You know, but it's just you just basically hold a steering wheel all day long. I mean, that's it. You jam out to some tunes, you drive. But it's just when you're starting to get stressed out, get a motel for the night. I mean, don't tell your dispatcher, hey, just give me one day. That's all I need is one day, and just get off the truck and just go to a mall or just take yourself out to a nice restaurant or something. But don't just throw your hand up and leave the industry. I mean, because I can guarantee you, once you come here and you get a taste of this money, there's nothing you can do back home that you're gonna make nowhere near as much money. And I know
I've tried it.
He went local.
I've done local stuff too. And you won't make the same amount of money at home.
It's nice being home, but at the same time, but sometimes you're thinking, man,
you start missing the road if you're like me.
I'm the same. I love, and I love my wife. I love my family. I got 2 stepdaughters. I love y'all, and I love being with my kids. And I'm sure Randy knows this, and Jose knows this too. I'll be home, and I'm so excited to go home. Like, I'm excited to be home now. Okay, I'm excited to see my grandson. But after the first 10 hours, I start in my head, man, what load could I get out this day instead of sitting here? What kind of money could I be making? And where would I be at right now? Where part of the country we're about heading to? I'm ready to go back on the road. And my wife never understood that when I was running team until she came out on the road with me. And now, even though she doesn't drive, we'll be at home, and she's like, man, I love my kids, but man, I want to get the hell out of here. I want to be off the road. I want to be back in my truck. And it's it might sound terrible to some people, but it's just you get in your blood, man, and it's hard to not do it.
It's that gypsy lifestyle.
Yeah, and if you're single, I mean, this life is great for you if you're single.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's perfect if you're single.
You go broke.
Single, you can make a lot of money.
You go broke if you're single.
You can save a lot of money if you do it right. But the single life is perfect.
I spent it all. The last penny.
But at the same time though, he was coming, so his money was just a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was a fraction.
I
never tasted that decent money yet.
It's I think for people out there who watch these videos who don't drive or think about coming to OTR, if you are single, why not? Why not just try it? I mean, the money is twice as much. I mean, unless you got a really good gig back home where you're just making bank, I know I've worked all kinds of jobs.
You would need a degree for that.
And I've worked all kinds of jobs in my life, and my family owned a farm back home, and we got pretty large in the farm, so we started making pretty good money. But that was family money, and I've seen some fat checks in my lifetime, but they weren't in my name. You know what I mean? And I know that I've worked different kinds of jobs. I've done security. I've done, I did a lot of security. I've got a degree in criminal justice. I was gonna be a cop. I went to college. I did all that stuff. And I've done any kind of job you can think. I was a lumper for 2 years. I was making pretty good money as a lumper. And I thought money, $900 checks then, man, I thought that was bank, But I live in Seattle, so that's just, I bet it's your rent money. But then I come out here, and when I start seeing $3,000, $2,500 checks, I'm just like, man,
it's hard to give that up.
And you go home, and you're like,
you get hooked.
oh man, I got this good local job. I can be home every night. It sounds so great. And you get your first check, like, man,
after all them taxes come out,
$1,000, shit, man, this is a bad week for me out on the road.
Yeah.
If that, and you're thinking, man, that was a bad week for me, a terrible week for me out on the road. And it's hard to not wanting to go back, but as a single person, it's just like, why not? Me and my wife, my 2 stepdaughters, my wife is 14 years older than me. I have 2 stepdaughters, they're 19 and 22, and they live on their own. And so me and my wife was like, what, if we're going to do this, let's go big. So we got rid of our apartment, and basically all we have is our storage bill, our cell phone, and our insurance on my pickup truck, and that's it. It's basically like we're living the single life, but we're married. And so like that's all pocket money, and it's just, you can change your life, a big time. When I first came out here, I had $40,000 in debt in my student loans. I paid them off in 10 months. 10 months. And now I was taking care of my bills back home, taking care of my truck notes on my truck, on my semi-truck, sending money home to my kids if they needed it. And I'm a very, very generous person. I've always been that way. And I love buying stuff for people. I like helping people out. And so I was always handing money out left and right. And even then, I still paid my student loans off in 10 months. That's $40,000 I paid off in 10 months, cash. And because I didn't pay no payments all year. And they was like, oh, you know, as long as you're paying, you're paying something, which they were automatically deducted interest payments. So I was basically paying interest, but not the actual loan. I stayed at 40,000, walked in that. I went home the day I got 40,000. I told my dispatcher to get me home. I went home. I walked in that office, walked a $40,000 check, walked in, said I'm paying off my student loans, and they were in shock. I said, man, we started collecting on you 10 months ago. Hey, maybe you're in the wrong industry then.
Right.
And it's like that. I have bad weeks. Randy's had bad weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
like
not saying that
everybody's experience is different.
You might not make great money every single week. You're going to have crappy weeks. That just happens. And that's just the trucking industry. You might be in a terrible area. You have sometimes you'll have a great week because you had that real big payload at the end of the week, but know you're going to a crappy reload area. So you're off to a bad start for the next week. But you made so much money the week before that bad week doesn't really hurt you. You basically break even. Or not break even, but you basically average out. But a lot of people make that mistake too. Anybody who's in training right now who watches videos, I tell this to every trainee I've met. I don't personally train. That's just that Randy can keep all that. I just don't do that.
You can have it.
He can have that training deal. But I tell students this all the time, and it's something I learned from my trainer. If you're with a lease op, stop looking at his checks. Stop looking at what the loads pay. Don't do that. If you're gonna look at them, that's cool. But don't just these loads, because you ain't gonna see that shit.
That's not going to you. That's going to your truck.
Unless you train too. But you gotta remember, y'all are running team loads, so those loads are gonna pay bank.
Yeah, they pay a
but
lot more.
But solo, you might as well take your trainer's money and cut it in half. That's basically what you'll average out, give or take.
And that's revenue to the truck. That's not to your pocket.
That's revenue to your truck. And everybody is different. Everybody's fixed cost is like my fixed cost is only $11.50. His is like $1,400. And we're with the same dispatcher. We have different trucks, but my payments is higher than his because mine was a reefer truck. But my fixed costs are still lower than his. It's just how it works out.
Yep.
But I've seen a lot of students sell cutting their own truck, and man, I remember when I was with my trainer, we made this kind of money. Yeah, but you were running team.
Exactly.
And then they take it out on Prime. Oh, Prime just running me like shit, and I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna go over to this company. And then they get over there and they realize the grass isn't always green on the other side, so they come back to Prime. Now you're known as the guy who's left Prime and came back. And now you've got, now you're that guy. Now you're like this guy. Now he's known as that guy. That's the only reason he makes money, because he's ready.
I was a reefer though.
But, I always remember that, man. Don't just, when I was with my trainer, no, man. Y'all were running team loads. Now, granted, I have run team loads. I have done that. It was hard. I feel like I was killing myself when I got to where I was going, but I made it. But it was one of those things where that's my reputation. I'm known for when me and my wife, when we get a load assignment, our goal is to get that load there no matter what it takes. If that means me running my full clock out, doing a 10-hour break, and me sitting in my seat at 9.5 hours, and I'm waiting, that 10-hour clock hits, and I'm going out the driveway at the truck stop, that's what I do. So I gained that reputation. And it was a double-edged sword, because now we want to kind of slow down, because at the time we was paying my student loans off. So now we want to slow down. Well, now they're so used to me running the way I used to run.
They keep you running
Now
hard.
they're like, they give me runs. I'm like, man, I was really hoping that you'd wait me a couple hours to get me a load, so I can go do this. Well, we know you can get this load here. Anyway, so it sucks sometimes, but once you prove yourself at Prime, especially Flatbed, you prove yourself that you can run, you can get a load there, they can trust you. It's endless. People can say what they want. I don't care what they say. I really don't care I don't give two squirts of piss, as I always say, what they say or what their opinion is. I know what I can make because of how I've known to been run. I know Randy knows what he can make because the way he runs. It's just, you gotta prove yourself. If you're not making, there's a sign at the orientation building, and people who's going into Prime, you'll see it, or people who has a Prime, I know you know what I'm talking about. There's a sign. There's a guy who put a comment on there, and they put it on a billboard, and it says, "If you're not making money, that's not Prime's fault." Because Prime's job is to give you a load. They gave you the load. It's your job to get it there. If you're not making money, Prime's not the problem. Because you got the freight. It might not be great paying freight, but it's freight. And they're keeping you moving. So what's the problem? What is the problem? So you got to question, question yourself. Like, is it something I'm doing wrong? Or is it, whatever? But they'll keep loads on you. That's for sure. You know, and if you're not making any money, maybe it's the way you're running. I know I make money, and Randy knows he makes money. You know, but that's just the way we run. That's the way we do it. But it is what it is. You know, but there's people who want to do this hardcore, and some people who just half-assed it. You know, they want to be what we call steering wheel holders. They won't be real truck drivers. You know, there's a difference between just holding a steering wheel and actually being a truck driver. This stuff you deal with, and the stuff you're willing to sacrifice to get that load there. You know, sometimes you sacrifice your sleep. You know,
Oh yeah.
you sacrifice your time with your wife. I mean, I've been there. You know, and it's just, it sucks, but you know, that's part of the career. You know, that's part of making your life, your living is making those sacrifices.
Right.
You know, and if you're not willing to make them, maybe this trucking industry isn't for you. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, you gotta make sacrifices sometimes, and that's the name of the game. You know, it's a double-edged sword, man. It really is, but it pays off.
Yeah, it pays off, and there you have it. That was our interview with Steven. It's him, Jose. Actually met up with him this morning. He hit me up yesterday, like last night sometime.
Yeah.
Found out I was coming the way that he's already at, and I met him in Cheyenne, and we've been running across 80.
Don't let him lie to you. He was supposed to be way ahead of me. And he decided to slack off because he didn't get enough sleep. So he stayed at a Walmart for hours on end.
Well, it wasn't Walmart.
Or wherever he stayed at.
We was at a rest
And
area.
here I did my 10-hour break.
my trainee stopped driving,
Cause I drive my 411.
and I was too tired, so.
Cause I drive
You
my
tired?
I drive my
Get some
411.
sleep.
Yeah. Not like some
And
other
here
people.
I did my whole 10 hours. Hell, no, I'd been over 10 hours.
You know what? Don't listen to them.
And then I hit him up and say, hey man, what's Eddie looking like? Because I thought, man, he's way ahead of me. I don't know. I'm not even Wyoming yet.
But Randy's like,
I said, man, I've been in Wyoming for the
man.
past 13 hours. Where the hell you been at? You was only 250 miles ahead of me, behind me last night. Oh, I was tired.
I wasn't driving. He kept me up late on the phone, so I didn't get to go to sleep.
Hey,
Randy's like, okay, just find a rest area, just park it, just park
Oh,
it.
y'all killing me, man. Y'all killing me.
And now
If you guys are tired, don't drive. Don't listen to them.
And
Get
it-
your sleep.
And then I had the baby in his hand all day today because he was scared about the wind. And
Oh, man.
man, I don't think
I got light load.
I
got light
don't
load.
think I could do this, Steve. I don't think I
He
could
was
do
like,
this.
Jose, go ahead,
Man.
take the wheel because this is a light load and I'm not used to this.
These dudes lying.
I heard him tell Jose because the wind would hit from the left side. He's telling Jose, lean to the left, lean to the left.
Lean to the
man.
left.
You know, and I had to ride beside him to block the wind because he was just so scared. And we had to call the other drivers. Can you
He
stay
was
next to
behind
him?
me.
He's scared. And
He was behind me.
I'm slowing and slowing me down.
For real, his truck's faster than mine.
I make him look. I blow his damn doors off.
And we're lighter and he's still faster.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
30,000.
man.
He's 7. Man, shoot.
Stuff I gotta deal with.
That's
No,
what-
but we've been doing a little trucking convoy today. Prime flatbed, 2-truck convoy. Been running across 80. It's been some really bad windy conditions.
Yeah, it's been windy, man.
If this video wasn't so long, I'd throw them up, but I'm gonna put them in a separate video, some driving videos of the conditions. It was bad.
Ridiculous, man. It was crazy.
It was blowing so hard across the road you couldn't even see the
64 was
lanes.
bad too.
Yeah, 29. I got stuck on 29. That was pretty bad. And the stuff they got stuck in, and the video y'all saw, if you've seen it, the video you put up about that truck stop, it was like that. I drove on that kind of garbage all through 36, US 36 in Missouri, and on 29, it was ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
This morning, I'm not gonna lie, you know,
It's bad.
as heavy as I was getting kind of sketched out. I mean, he was blowing pretty hard.
Yeah, it was 60 plus mile an hour winds, pretty blowing
I
pretty
was more
hard.
nervous for him because I was like, you know, I know I'm on a step deck, so my load's kind of short. His load's tall, and I'm thinking, man, what's going to do if this truck starts going? Because there's nothing I can do. You're kind of helpless if you watch your truck going over, you know.
Yeah, my truck,
But-
I'm light and my truck's not a full load, so I knew I was good because I didn't have any weight.
Man,
Or
Randy
not
weighs
even
like
weight.
300
I didn't have
pounds,
any of my load back there on my axles on my trailer, so pretty much no way that wind was going to pick me up. Well, at least I was hoping it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because my load's pretty centered on my trailer toward the front, so it's kind of in between my truck and trailer, so I felt pretty confident. It was a few times where it kind of pushed me a little bit, but other than that, yeah, we just rolled with it nice and slow, took our times. If it had got out of hand, we would have pulled over, but
And
yeah,
it's
we
same
had a
thing
good
about
time.
flatbed and reefer like we now. If we had been reefer,
Oh yeah,
us
big
slowing
difference.
down, we've been better off just stopping. because then we had to tell them, hey man, you gotta reschedule this.
Yeah.
But because we got this time, we could drive safely and go slow and still keep moving, but drive at a safe speed to get through the wind. Versus reefer, it's hammered down all day long, or you can't make your appointment time.
Now, actually, the highway was closed for we sat for about 45 minutes because the highway was closed because of accidents and high wind.
But I didn't see no.
Yeah, I didn't see any accident either. I think it was just high wind.
I think they were just checking the roads myself, and they just said an accident to shut it down.
Yeah.
But
we come on down here and
that one was crazy.
We got somewhere to eat. We're in Rock Springs right now. We stopped over here at Santa Fe Southwestern Grill.
Not that
Don't
good.
get his burrito when he got. He called it
It's not
burrito.
good. Not that
I throw a picture up of the food.
Not good at all.
They
People
served
don't
me a
stop.
snot burger. Their food looked freaking
It looked
delicious.
good, but not a
And
good place to stop.
I had a snot burger, a burrito. I was disappointed.
I don't recommend it. Don't
You
stop it,
guys
people.
need they need to start putting pictures on the menu because it sucked not having pictures on the menu.
What are you, 10 years old, Randy? You need a picture?
Yeah, I need pictures because I would not have ordered
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like I was telling them, I love Chinese spots, but you know, unless it's a buffet, I don't know what the hell I'm eating. I just know what it looks like. I don't know what it's called. You know, and I look retarded at a Chinese spot trying to describe what it looks like. 'Cause I don't know what it's called.
I know what it's called.
I tell them, what's that one thing that looks
before.
like this? And they'll go, you mean so and so? I don't know. Bring it out to me. Let's see it. No, that's not what I want. Take it back.
Yeah.
You know.
But he treated us to lunch today. Thanks, Steven. Much appreciated. If you guys
We see who makes the real money in between us.
exactly, he makes the big money, man. Big money.
They told me, Jose, you got this. You got it. I'm like, what the hell?
He doesn't make money.
No, what really happens? He accidentally left his wallet in the truck.
It works every time. It works every time, people. Leave your wallet when you're in a group.
No, it was a good lunch. You know, I always try to do that when I meet. If anybody who sees me, I have a YouTube channel too. You can just, I think it's, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. I think it's Steven Flatbed Driver or something like that.
I'll put it up on
I'll find
on here
it
somewhere.
and find it, but I haven't put a video up. I've been pretty busy, but I'm gonna try to get one here pretty soon. But anybody who knows me or meets me on the road or wherever, you see me out on the road, don't hesitate to holler at me on the CB. My CB is always on, or wave at me, whatever.
Man, his CB is awesome.
if we end up meeting up with each other or something, we stop somewhere, I always try to treat people with lunch. You know, that's just my, you know, nice meeting you kind of dinner or lunch, whatever it may be.
Cool. Well, we're gonna be meeting a lot for lunch.
Or breakfast.
Or breakfast or dinner. We're just, anytime we cross paths, we're gonna be, hey man, let's go grab something to eat.
That's just how I've always been. Like I said, I've always been a kind of generous dude, but you know, hey, don't hurt nothing to sit down and have a quick lunch.
Right.
You know, but it's been an interesting day. We'll be riding together for a little bit longer than we.
Yeah, we got a little bit longer to run together. Take this convoy a little closer to Salt Lake City, where he's gonna split off, and I'm gonna take my butt on up to Oregon, where I don't want to go.
We'll probably end up passing each other again because I'm delivering in Salt Lake, and then I gotta go to Spokane, Washington. So I'll be going up 84, and he'll probably be coming down 84.
Yeah,
we'll
maybe.
Are we going back Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, it's not Cabbage Patch, but we're gonna be going back over Cabbage Hill.
Cabbage Hill, yeah.
So hopefully it's
it
clear
ain't
skies.
I'll
They
be on
say
the
it's
train
clear over
up.
there right now. So if it is, then we have no problems. 'Cause like I said, we're light, no problems there. But if any guys, drivers or non-drivers, if I'm in your location and you know ahead of time, which if you follow my Facebook, you kind of know where I'm at. Just hit me up on Messenger or something, shoot me a message, and I'll see if we can coordinate a meeting, meet up for lunch, or just hang out or something. Drivers, if we cross paths or something, then yeah, hit me up and we can meet or something too. Always willing to meet up, get to know everybody and stuff. I mean, this is the second time I met Steven. Real cool dude. We met back at Prime and everything. That's why we it was pretty cool to meet up and run as a convoy. Second time I ran in the convoy with another driver. First time was with a lady, Carrie, out of Texas all the way to Washington for 4.5 days. That was pretty cool because it was like a long journey.
You're not supposed to say that.
Huh?
You're not supposed to say that.
Say what?
With the lady?
My wife know about her.
Oh, okay.
she was there when we all met up and everything. It's all cool. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Same thing with me. Stephen Gamble's my name. Stephen with a PH. Gamble, Gamble. If you see me on Facebook or whatever, you know, hit me up or whatever, and we'll try. If I'm in your area, we'll try and meet up or something, and go from there. You know.
You guys hit him up for lunch, man. He take you out to lunch.
I'm cheap though, so.
I put all the information on the video, so you'll be able to find him.
And but y'all be safe out there, man. It was nice to have the interview. And I know I chatter a lot and talk a lot, but you know, I have a lot of
a lot of good information you gave to the viewers and stuff. So I'm sure some people enjoy what you had to tell them.
If you have any questions about switching from reefer to flatbed or flatbed questions or whatever,
that's your man to talk to about switching over. If you're a reefer driver right now and you want to switch to flatbed, he has the answers.
What if they have questions for me though?
Well, you don't.
If
Really
you have questions for Jose,
I don't know about.
Just keep them to
About
yourself.
anything. Just keep them to yourself.
Yeah.
All right. As always, thanks for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe. I started on that one.
And thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's not a very big channel, but you know it is what it is.
Don't forget. See you guys on the next load.
Peace.